Okay, sorry, video number 2, chapter 9. That last video was almost torture for me. I don't know if my brain's just slowing down, but yeah, let's get this done here. So, the delivering service through electronic channels and robots. So this is something we've seen a lot in the industry, and it's been difficult for the industry to pinpoint at what point does this do a disservice to the industry. So there are both advantages and disadvantages to checking in yourself, to doing all of the work yourself. There's no real relationship or bond or any of that step 4 we just talked about going on when people are doing their own work, or we have those robotic channels. So self-serve facilities will continue to evolve. They're going to play a more important role in the future because it's so much cheaper for companies, and not only cheaper, but it's easier for companies to measure where things are going wrong, where the problems are. It's there are pros and cons to it for sure. So the advantages and disadvantages of electronic distribution of services. The advantages are consistent delivery for standardized services. So we can think about when you're checking in at an airport and scanning your passport and printing your luggage tags. It's very consistent. You can't get through the process without doing all of it correctly. It's low cost. You don't have to have somebody manning the booth. When you think of airlines, especially some smaller cities or smaller airlines, when you have flights going once an hour and you have these massive lineups for 10 minutes and then no lineups for the next 45 minutes, it's difficult on companies because it's not the best efficient use of time for their employees to be crazy busy and then slow, right? So it's low cost. There's convenience to it. A customer can just walk up when they're ready, get it done, walk away. Wide distribution. Customer choice and ability to customize. You can receive quick customer feedback, and there is potential for building customer relationships. There's a vast amount of consumer data that can be obtained from completing things manually. But there are disadvantages. So there are privacy and ethical issues depending on what area of an industry you're talking about. If you're talking about scanning passports, and can't think of an ethical issue off the top of my head. I think the textbook talks about one. I can't remember. It was a few days ago I read it, but the inability to customize with highly standardized services. There's security concerns. There's competition from widening geographies. So if you can do it and have a lower cost and et cetera, your competition's going to do it. And then suddenly your lower costs mean nothing because your prices are probably going to go down because you've got competition. So there's that price competition. Your loss of control over the consumer evaluation process. So you can't get to the customer when the customer is frustrated, or where if you're out of the process, you're out of the ability to overcome something quickly. So there's difficult in ensuring that their customer is getting the best of your company. So keeping abreast of changes in technology, that's difficult. It can be a little bit expensive, and the ability to data mine. I'm not sure that's a disadvantage, but I guess in this chapter they believe it is. So the last one, the last case study in the chapter is a resort app and a customer experience. So this resort company was looking at capturing memories on mountain and being able to share with friends and family is particularly important on a ski vacation. So quite interesting the way they've utilized technology to the advantage of the company. So they have smart card technology, which is the ski lift pass that doubles as resort credit cards. They have multiple ski hills and resorts. They have the Epic Mix ski app with it logs your runs, the lifts that you've taken, your mileage, pins for achievement. I think if you were a skier, I'm not sure how many of you are, I do ski, but a lot of that would probably be lost on me. It wouldn't be something that would appeal to me, but I can see the advantage of it, as I know that people in the running industry and other industries do really enjoy it. So you have an Epic Mix account as well, where you can have personal and professional photos in. There's trail maps, GPS hookups, so you can connect with family and friends. As well, social media. So they encourage the story sharing, which is very advantageous for companies these days. A lot of what customers want to read is stories and good experiences. So it's great that the company has been able to utilize that. Okay, so we are done chapter 9. It's a short, quick chapter. I was going to add a case study in, and I had it all lined up, and I thought, oh man, you guys just received your login for Superhost, and you're going to have to do all that reading and then do that exam and potentially do the exam again. So I didn't want to give you too much work this week. You will have next week off because next week is a holiday, Remembrance Day here in Canada. So you'll have 2 weeks to get these case study questions done that I have assigned. And you're going to have also those 2 weeks to get your Superhost done. Okay, so I know that Lonnie emailed you and told you guys you had a little bit longer to get the Superhost exam done. We did that on purpose in case there were any challenges. But we would like you to get it done a lot quicker than the absolute final deadline. Again, so many of you had challenges with logging in and access, and you have to remember that I only teach one course a week for 3 hours. I don't check my email every 5 minutes. Lonnie, has a lot of courses in her portfolio, so we really need you guys to make sure and have a look at the emails for the logins and read them very detailed and ensure that you're not asking questions that you can already find the answers to yourselves, okay? Especially because we're almost done this last exam. So let's get this last one done with hopefully way less problems than we've been having in the past. Way less time consuming would be fantastic for myself and for Lonnie. And get it done sooner than later, okay? So you have these next 2 weeks. You have no class next week. You only have 3 homework questions I'm giving you, and they should be fairly simple. Just going to pop over to them here. Right here. Oh. So it says, what are the 3 multifaceted dimensions of the eServiceScape? I already outlined them for you. It was right in that graph on the last video. So I would like you to list those out and make sure you understand them, okay? And then I want you to talk about how social media has been utilized in the buying stage for customers. Sorry, this is a work in progress on the screen right now. I'm going to save it and upload it later. Name at least 3 positives or advantages or improvements that technology has had on tourism or hospitality businesses. So you're not going to find 3 positives in the chapter that just say these are positive things, but as you read the chapter, I just want you to outline some of the major positives that the technology has done for the industry, okay? So as you're reading through, make sure and think of those different factors, and yeah, they're either positives or advantages or improvements that technology has made on the industry, okay? So whatever you come up with would be great, and let me know if you have any questions this week. No class next week. Get your Superhost exam done by the week after that, and that would be great. Thanks very much, guys, and have a fantastic week.